Cricketnews.com in partnership with Bharat Army, India's official fan club presents the Indian Presence League. We are into episode 4 now, and in this episode, we are going to talk about someone who has been known for being at the right place at the right time, which essentially gives away the fact that he's a great fielder, which can and should give away the fact that we are going to talk about Sir Ravindra Jadeja. In the last 3 to 4 years, if you've gone around and asked any cricket fan, or if you just now go around and ask any cricket fan who's that one player you think can change the game with his fielding efforts, merely with his fielding efforts, who's that going to be? More often than not, the answer is going to be Ravindra Jadeja. That's just been the case. It has been absolute fun to watch him operate in the field, to watch him take those screamers at the boundary line, to watch him orchestrate runouts from the boundary line with those direct hits. But as has been the case with Indian cricket fans, you don't normally charm them just with your fielding efforts. There has to be another side to your game as well. So in this episode, we are going to talk about that other side. In fact, all the sides about Ravindra Jadeja and how world's premier T20 league, world's toughest T20 league, has actually shaped the career of Ravindra Jadeja. If you are younger than me, then you probably don't remember Ravindra Jadeja pre-IPL, which is just me trying to sell myself as this old wise man. But Jadeja had already established himself as a brand for the future even before IPL began. He was of course part of the Under-19 World Cup winning squad in 2008. His numbers with Saurashtra in his initial years of domestic cricket were really impressive and worth investing on. And all of this is why Rajasthan Royals picked him in the first IPL auction. And what happens at the end of the season? He lifts the trophy. RR win the title in 2008, and Jadeja does even better in 2009 when the league is shifted overseas. We get a picture of what a player he can be in those conditions, which is why he is picked for the T20 World Cup squad, which takes place just after that IPL in England. So clearly, Jadeja has a lot to thank Rajasthan Royals for, and I'm sure he has done that. But the real emergence of Jadeja, the player that we see today, it really started from 2012 when he switched his colours from blue to yellow in IPL. He was picked up by Chennai Super Kings in the 2012 IPL auction, and what a player he has been for the franchisee with the bat, with the ball and on the field. There always will be talk about Dwayne Bravo as the all-rounder at CSK, as the all-rounder in IPL, but Ravindra Jadeja hasn't been any less important for the franchisee. With the bat, there have been occasions when even the great Tala hasn't been able to finish games. But then the CSK fans haven't lost hope, because Ravindra Jadeja, Sir Jadeja, has been there to finish games off, even with a bowler on the other end. He has done that on quite many occasions. With the ball, we of course know Dhoni has always had this fondness towards spinners who can attack, who can bowl in the middle overs, squeeze the flow of runs and give you those 2 or 3 wickets on occasions, and Jadeja has chipped in beautifully in that position. But there is one statistic though which really highlights the importance and the icon that Jadeja has been to IPL. He is the only player who has scored 2,000 runs and taken 100 wickets in the league's history. But how has this certified IPL superstar been in Indian colours? Out of all his years in international cricket, the most profound memory of Ravindra Jadeja for me comes from 2013. Remember that home test series against Australia, where Ashwin and Jadeja spun a web around the Aussie batting lineup? He took 24 wickets in 4 test matches and was named the man of the series. But that wasn't it for Jadeja from 2013, was it? India travelled to England a few months later for Champions Trophy, and right from the first warm-up game to the final against England, they remained unbeaten. Jadeja was the best bowler of the tournament with 12 wickets, and if you remember that famous photo of Ravindra Jadeja posing alongside Shikhar Dhawan, who was the highest run scorer in 2013 Champions Trophy, they're both posing along with their trophies, and in the centre is Mahendra Singh Dhoni with the Champions Trophy itself. It was a great sight to watch for every Indian cricket fan. It was a great summer for us in England. There haven't been many, and it is surely one to cherish for a lifetime. And in the final, Jadeja took to England with the bat. He scored 33 not out from 25 deliveries, took India to 130, which was really tough for England to chase down. And that brings us to Ravindra Jadeja, the batsman. It has been disheartening to say the least for Indian fans, because far too invaluable knocks have not ended on a winning note. The 66 not out of some 45 balls against New Zealand back in 2014 when India were chasing 315 at Eden Park and they were 184 for 6 at one stage, 14 overs to go. MS Dhoni is back in the pavilion. And then it was time for Ravindra Jadeja to put up a show with Ravichandran Ashwin, and they both did that. Ashwin duly supported him in this one, but it was Jadeja who took the game to the very end. 8 required of the last 2, hits it for a 6, but then just couldn't come back for the second of the last ball. The game ended as a tie. And even now, it is still remembered as one of the great ODI games of all time. How can we forget the 2019 World Cup semi-final? It was almost like for a moment we thought we could, and we really could have. Jadeja walked into bat at 92 for 6, and it was like he had revived 1.3 billion hopes on that day. The way he batted, it almost looked like he was batting on a different pitch, which was later clarified by the Kiwi captain Kane Williamson in the post-match press conference when he said that out of all the batsmen in both the team, it was Jadeja who was timing the ball best. Which goes to show that even though India have lost these games, when it comes to batting in these crunch situations lower down the order, Ravindra Jadeja has been a brave heart. What about talent? There is no question as far as talent is concerned. He's the first Indian batsman to score 3 triple centuries in first class cricket, and he sits in an elite league with Brian Lara, W.G. Grace, Don Bradman. It is just terrific to watch him play. But out of all his elements, out of all the cricketing elements of Sir Ravindra Jadeja, there is one on which we can end this episode. Time has flown by rather quickly, and Ravindra Jadeja is now one of the senior members of this Indian cricket team. But you won't find that out if you look at him on the field. If you look at him save those runs and change the momentum of the game, if you look at him run hard, harder than anyone in world cricket probably, if you look at him celebrate after he takes a wicket, if you look at him bowl the way he bowls, he's an absolute nightmare for the broadcasters who want to show a graphic in between deliveries. Or if you look at him celebrate after scoring a half century and waving his bat like a sword. That is why Ravindra Jadeja is a beautiful gift that the Indian Presence League has given to us.